When I decided that I was going to tell him that I wanted a divorce, we sit down in our session. It's like really tense, really awkward. My ex was sitting there like, so why do we have an emergency session? The therapist was like, Jamie, do you want to start? And I just started crying and I was like, I want a divorce. He sat there quiet. I'm sitting next to him crying. He didn't move. He didn't look at me. He didn't react at all. He just was stone cold. And eventually our therapist was like, would you like to respond? So he responded right away and he's like, fine, let's just go ahead and finalize the details. Like, I knew that I was ready to leave that day, but I couldn't believe that that was his reaction. There was no empathy. There was no compassion. There was no like wanting to fight for us, and I was like, so what are we gonna do? And he just kept playing and he was like, I already got an apartment. I already took my name off of the lease. So it was like within a couple days he moved out.
You can tell right away this wasn't genuine. It was a cheap shot wrapped in manipulation. She wasn't trying to communicate. She was trying to wound him. Watching this clip makes it obvious why he felt nothing walking out of that marriage. When someone constantly brings chaos, peace becomes priceless. A man doesn't hold on to what was already costing him his sanity.
You know what I've noticed? Women will leave a marriage because they are just unhappy. But men, they will stay through the years of attitude, rejection, and flat out disrespect, trying to hold on to the promise they made. And that's the difference. Women chase happiness, but men fight to keep commitment. And that might sting a little, but it's true. There is a big difference between being unhappy and being ungrateful. Unhappy can be worked on. It can be fixed with effort, communication, and humility. Ungrateful, that's when you stop seeing the good right in front of you. Sometimes it is not that your husband stopped trying. It's that you stopped noticing. You stopped thanking him. You stopped respecting him. You stopped showing him the love you expect back. And eventually, even the strongest man gets tired of being treated like he doesn't matter. Men do not usually give up fast. They give up quietly. And by the time they do, it's not because they stopped loving you. It's because they were done begging to be loved back. So before you say you are just unhappy, ask yourself, are you giving the same effort and respect you are asking for?
It's never the man who gives up first. What actually happens is the wife stops appreciating him, stops respecting him, and the foundation crumbles from her side long before he steps away. Men don't leave because they're tired. They leave because they're no longer valued. Respect is the oxygen of a marriage, and once it's gone, everything suffocates. When a man finally sees he's been carrying it alone, choosing distance becomes the only sane choice left.
Having babies out of wedlock is not slowing down, it's actually speeding up because men have checked out. Men are not afraid to be fathers, they are afraid to be husbands to women that bring drama, disrespect, and emotional warfare to their peace. So what happens? Men still want legacy. They're going to clap cheeks, but they gonna keep it moving. No vows, no risk, and no drama. It's very sad, but unfortunately, as women, we're doing it to ourselves. I have seen it firsthand, up close and personal. I used to be in the wedding industry, so I can tell when love is there and when it ain't. I can look at two people standing at the altar and say if they deeply love each other or not. You can see it in their eyes. And I'm telling you, I done been to enough weddings where it ain't been no emotions at the altar. It's nothing but performance for the photos. I have seen this countless of times, and I realized that as women, we have stopped marrying for love. Men marry for love and we marry for status and money. Trust and believe, men see this too. This is why they are opting out. No man signs up to feel like a wallet and not a partner. Men are absolutely tired of being used, discarded, and drained. Men didn't kill marriage. Women killed marriage, and men have just stopped volunteering to lose it all for women that don't even respect or love them.
There she goes again, stating the obvious without even realizing it. The truth was always right in front of her. Some people only notice it when it finally hits them in the face. Either way, the point stands.
Have you guys noticed that most married men aren't actually happy? Most married men are lying to themselves and gaslighting themselves into thinking that they're happy in a marriage which is loveless, sexless, where the woman always argues and belittles and emasculates them. Their wife endlessly nags at them while they're working full-time, trying to provide for her, for the family. Women will often victimize themselves and say that their mental load is overbearing. Meanwhile, the man has to look at the big picture, worry about the wife, the kids, working every day, endlessly paying for all of the bills, providing. He has to worry about investments, about retirement, about the college funds for the kids. Meanwhile, the woman only has to worry about preparing dinner, keeping the house clean, making sure that the kids are happy and healthy. The woman will say that she's overstimulated just because she has to cook dinner and keep the house clean. But they never stop to consider the mental load that men have. Most men stay in relationships so they don't lose everything, so they can see their kids and they don't have to split custody. It's truly so sad how many men gaslight themselves into staying in a relationship where both parties are not happy and they feel like they can't speak up because they have a wife who berates them or emasculates them and belittles them on the daily.
People fall in love with the fantasy of marriage long before they ever face the reality of it. The idea looks beautiful until the work, responsibility, and accountability show up. Most aren't prepared for that part. They want the title, not the commitment. And that's why so many marriages collapse long before the vows mean anything.
It's a lovely little PSA that nobody asked for.
Oh boy, buckle up, kids. This one's about to get real.
You wonder why the divorce rate's so high? You wonder why there's so many women in their 20s, 30s, 40s that are not in relationships or not getting married just because they plain don't want to? Or why there's so many single moms in the world right now? It's very easy, very simple. Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Oh, I see. Funny thing is, neither are men. And that's why we're walking away. Walking away in droves. So, what's any different between men and women in this?
Let me say that again. Women are not accepting the bare minimum anymore.
We heard you. And guess what? Neither are men.
If you want to be a partner, please be a partner. If you want to be in a relationship, please give benefit.
Okay, we actually agree on this point. You should be getting benefit from your partner. So why don't you tell us a few of the benefits that you're going to provide?
To someone, I can pay my own bills, I can make my own food, I can raise my own kids.
Okay, guess what? We can do all those things too.
I understand that you're tired at the end of the workday, but so am I. But guess what? Someone has to do the laundry, someone has to make dinner, someone has to watch the kids.
And someone has to mow the lawn, someone has to fix the car, someone has to... I could list a whole bunch of things that men do that really women don't count as doing chores because it's not something they value. And the funny thing is, even when we do all those things, you discount it because, well, it's not done the way you would do it.
If you're not going to do that with someone, then just don't do it.
Okay, we hear you. That's why we're walking away.
Because we can do it all ourselves.
And so can we.
And we have a lot less socks to turn right side in the laundry.
Well, you got me there. I stand corrected. You see, I thought the things that women valued were love, respect, taking care of one another. Nope, I was wrong. You've enlightened me. It really comes down to one thing. The only thing that matters to women is whether the socks are turned in the right way. And people wonder why gentlemen are just plain done.
When every sentence is centered on me and I, it tells a man everything he needs to know. That self-focus is exactly why men look overseas for peace and partnership. You can't build a future with someone who only builds around themselves. That's not anger, that's awareness.
Did you know that the Bible speaks more about an abusive wife than an abusive husband? We hear so much about the narcissistic, manipulative, controlling, abusive men towards women. And my heart goes out to all those girls that are in those relationships. But what about the woman that verbally rips apart her man on a daily basis? Disrespectful, nagging, criticizing, yelling. The Bible has a term for this. It's called a contentious wife. And she is more annoying than a constantly dripping, leaky faucet. It says a man would rather live on the corner of a rooftop than share a house with her. It's that bad. Listen, we've all been her at some point, but awareness is the first step, and you cannot let her take over your mouth and your relationship. You have the power to speak life over your man in a way that nobody else can. You have incredible influence over how peaceful your relationship is. If only you can tame your attitude, your tone, and your choice of words.
What rarely gets mentioned is the quiet kind of abuse, the kind that comes from a wife who cuts her man down with her words every single day. That kind of emotional erosion doesn't leave bruises, but it destroys him all the same. Respect fades first, then the relationship collapses right behind it. And when a man finally hits that breaking point, he doesn't yell, he disappears.
So what I did to my husband this morning was I got really frustrated with him because he had an opinion about how we were going to set up the podcast. And he was in the middle of something. And it was irritating him how slow I was moving about the setup because he knew I had a lot to do. And so did I. But I was needing him to move forward with his life out of here.
Bye-bye.
And I got really frustrated. And I'm like, you have no right to tell me what to do. You need to not be in this. And I'm doing my whole thing and being a toxic woman. And it reminded me of a study that was done.
I love it. I love it.
He would never talk to me like that. So women are more likely to be verbally, emotionally, and psychologically abusive than men.
100%.
And
yes,
we don't know we're doing that.
No.
So I just saw this study recently.
Oh, interesting.
And I thought, how many things have I said, like when I'm angry or mad, that he would never say to me. And we get away with it. Why?
It is not
It's
fair.
not fair.
I think part of the reason we get away with it is because the level of their strength is different.
Funny how accountability only goes one direction. A man slips up and he's dragged through the mud. A woman does the same, and suddenly it's a joke, a meme, or something everyone understands. The double standard is loud, and men are finally done pretending not to notice. If the message hit, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.